Our next speaker is Phil Temples, K9HI, who will talk about using WordPress to energize your club. Phil, floor is yours, and the clock starts ticking now.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Almost feels like morning still. I see a lot of club leaders in the audience, and you're probably not the audience that I would be preaching to about this, but we'll take a shot at it anyway. Curious to know, in your clubs, how many of you have a website currently? Okay. How many of you feel that it's dynamic and constantly updated and something you're proud of? Again, good show of hands. So again, I'm probably preaching to the wrong crowd.
Constantly updated, but not dynamic.
Phil, why don't you ask the opposite question? How many of you have web pages you feel could use a lot of work and updating and that kind of thing? Because
okay.
This is your audience.
So it's a bit of an overlap between really like the website, but it needs some updating.
The webmaster might be in this room.
And my other question is, of those of you with websites, how many have webmasters who are dedicated and like to do their job? And okay.
Charlie gets mad at me when I want an update. I'm going to throw something at him.
I mean,
a webmaster a few seconds to raise his hand.
it's certainly a very challenging job if it's done right. I've tried to balance about 3 or 4 different websites over the past few years for people. And I don't do this professionally. Thank you. I heard that. I taught myself a little bit about content management systems, and especially WordPress, which is the most important package, the most popular package, I should say, out there today. I've got a slide here that says something like 70% of all websites on the internet use WordPress. It's a great way to go. I will skip ahead here and find, yeah, here we go. Content is easily organized. You can allow multiple people to post. You can most have excellent search capabilities. I think another important thing is that it allows users to update and edit the content after you've posted it. Sometimes you need to go back and update it. I think the mistake that a lot of clubs make with their websites is that they show static content. They have an announcement about club meetings. They have an announcement possibly about who the club officers are, maybe the last public service event that you did, and that's about it. And then it gets pretty dry after that. And that's a real problem. People are not going to come and visit your website on a regular basis if the content isn't changed very frequently. Yeah, here we go. I was wrong. 43%. Oh, 62. Sorry, I haven't looked at these slides in a while. I threw this up here just to show that if you are considering WordPress, there is a WordPress.com site that will sell you a turnkey solution for very reasonable prices. You can also go with WordPress.org, which is another flavor of it. It's totally free. What you're paying for is the hosting service and possibly the domain name cost. This is a hosting service that I like in particular. It was started by KA9FOX. It's since branched into a very large commercial operation. He no longer serves just hams. Excellent customer service. I've called them up on a Saturday night in a panic that I've wiped out stuff, and they've helped me out at 10 p.m. So again, more information on prices and hosting. Typically, you can expect to spend about $5 a month for a small, compact website, which I think is very reasonable. By the way, how many of you here have mailing lists, listservs. Yeah, that's also very important. And the other thing that I would like to also encourage you to do, if you're not already, make sure that the content that you post, the new content, also goes out on Facebook. Now, Facebook is kind of getting a bad rep these days as the old farts social media, but it's still very popular. I try to cross-post everything that I put on the Eastern Mass site and the New England Division site on Facebook. Again, preaching to the choir, you probably know about domain names. Bruce, what's your club's domain name?
It's n1nc.org.
Yeah.
Callsign.org.
A lot of times just the callsign.org. Boston Amateur Radio Club got lucky. We got barc.org way back in the old days. You could never get a domain name like that these days. The tool that I like to talk about that you basically just point and click, Softaculous, just kind of a silly name. But most of these sites that host WordPress will give you this wonderful application that you basically fill in the name of your domain name, the starting point, the directory where your content. It's Softaculous, Softaculous. I highly recommend it. It's unless you want to get into a little more of the nuts and bolts of setting up a website. It's literally fill in a few blanks and click, and it creates your website for you. Incidentally, one of the experiments that I tried about 7 or 8 years ago, I reached out to various clubs in Eastern Mass with the idea that a lot of these clubs might not have webmasters, but wanted some help with their websites, wanted to get them established. In many cases, the webmaster had lost interest, had just disappeared on them. And I said, I'm willing to host a club web page on the Eastern Mass site. In other words, ema.arrl.org/your club name. And I would maintain that page for them if they would feed me content. And I think about 4 or 5 clubs took me up on that offer. And it worked out pretty well. Some have gone on to create real websites for their clubs. So that's a little service that I offered when I was in the field organization in Eastern Mass. Another tool that you'll find in the WordPress universe is something called cPanel. As you can see, it gives you all sorts of functionalities. You can set up email accounts, forwarding. There's a file manager, so you can navigate around your directory with your files. By the way, it's terribly easy to upload images and content with WordPress. It's super easy. You don't have to fool around with FTP or anything like that, if you're familiar with file transfer protocol from the old days. And more on Softaculous. I think this is pretty much what you do. Fill out the install form, click on the install button, choose an installation URL. Very, very easy. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of clubs make the mistake of putting up static content, and that gets old real fast. The blog approach, I think, is far better. WordPress allows you to create stories or posts as opposed to pages. And this is where you would put an announcement about the next public service event, your club meeting, whatever activity that you're getting involved in. And there's a hybrid approach too. I've taken that with one of the websites. I have that static content up at the top, and then I immediately get into a blog type format. So there's always something there for someone to come back and visit. Let me just pause here for a minute and see, does anyone have any questions or thoughts so far on what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I have a different kind of sorry, I have a slightly different hybrid organization for a different club's website, not either of my ham clubs. The front page is absolutely the string of sausage that posts and tuned so that the number of posts visible by turning a knob in the background is exactly the ones that are fresh, and then you go on to page 2, page 3, and so forth. But the bulk of the content of the website are pages accessed from a menu bar.
Okay.
So, and didn't take any plugins to do that or anything. Just turning a couple knobs in the dashboard is what gets you that. So
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with posts on the front. But I would never use posts for static information like the repeater parameters or membership forms or anything.
Right.
Submitted for your consideration.
Yeah, a lot of that lends itself well to a menu
Yes.
entries. And that's the other great thing about WordPress. It's easy to set up great menus. One of the things that ARRL headquarters website has, I think that's really nice, they have very, very detailed links on the bottom of the page that you don't want to necessarily distract from the main content. It has just the main menu at the top and then millions of different selections on the bottom, which I like.
Yeah, I had a basic question about this. Our club has, sorry, but it's a static web page, website, multiple pages on there that we keep active as active as I can make them. But the hosting company that we use tells me that we're WordPress ready. We just need to do something to turn it into a WordPress site. What do I need to do that? Not that you're going to answer it all right now, but do you have slides or do you have some resources so I can take what we have, which is okay, and turn it into a more active WordPress type site? If you have some links or some information on that, I'd appreciate it.
There are a number of YouTube videos that step you through it. I'll be happy to talk with you
Talk to you afterwards.
after the session.
Okay.
And also, work with you one-on-one to help you get it set
I've
up.
been hearing WordPress for many years, but we just never jumped over the line and
Sure.
started
What
using it.
is your hosting provider, if I may ask?
It's a local guy in Middleborough, Power Services.
Oh, Phil. Yeah, sure.
Phil N1XTV.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Phil.
Yeah, he hosted our initial Eastern Mass website.
He's a good guy, and he's hosted a lot of our sites. Other sites, for South Shore.
He's given so much to the community. He's
Oh, yeah.
a great guy.
Oh yeah, love working with him. Don't want to move. Don't want to move away from him at all. Want to stay with him.
Well, if it's
but
WordPress ready,
so we just want to
make the jump. Yeah.
That. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Phil.
Sure. Anybody else? Yeah. Oh, wait for the microphone.
What's your drop dead plan?
Drop
What
dead.
happens when your webmaster disappears, drops dead? How do you get back into your website? Who's your backup?
Okay. Very good points. Make sure you know the login, the administrative login and password for your site. And the beauty of WordPress is it's so popular, so many people have some knowledge of it that, yeah, if your webmaster disappears, somebody in your club probably has.
We just went through the exercise. Our webmaster has not gone and is excellent, but we just went through the exercise so that we had the information available should that happen.
Very good.
So what we do in CCARs, and I think this is a good practice, is have more than one person with administrative credentials.
Absolutely.
And share the workload of maintaining the website. Then you have your contingency and you don't burn one person out.
And you probably, if you are able to train enough people, you don't necessarily have to give them administrative privileges, but just editing privileges. So there are various levels of precedence, and they can contribute content, so you're not putting the burden all on the webmaster to. Because that's a bummer. When you're a webmaster, you have to do the technical, and you have to scare up all of the content to boot. So, yes, Bruce.
It's just a comment, Phil.
Yeah.
Okay. This is really an intuitive, interactive kind of program. And I think the biggest challenge people have is logging in the first time and playing with it the first time. because once you see how the structure is and how easy it is to edit content and update content, you'll be off and running.
And I think your club just went through this recently, right?
Our club just went through it recently. We have a new webmaster. There's 4 or 5 of us now that have permission to go in and edit content.
Excellent.
And we'll have simple things that happen at a club meeting, and, you know, a change of, say, dues policy. And then one of us just goes in and updates that, and it's there the next day, and it's very simple to do. And I want to encourage everyone, take the first step, because it seems like it's daunting and challenging, and actually it's really very, very, very easy once you take the leap.
And you're not blazing a trail that someone else has not already blazed. Another question?
Is it possible to sandbox this while you're still learning it?
It is, yes. Most web hosting services will allow you to create subdomains, or, as you say, sandboxes. And I frequently do that. I'll have a development website that only I see or trusted people see.
We've done that. We've done that for HamXposition, right?
Yes.
Okay. So,
and then I get lazy and I make all the changes live on the production site, which you should never do. What else do I have on here? I think we're getting more value just this back and forth than the slides here. Oh, I put this up to show you the hybrid approach that I take with this site. This is actually one whole page. I couldn't fit it all on a slide. So here's the static content, the menus, the what is in TS, et cetera, and then I jump up to latest news. And this is where the blog portion starts. And I find that approach to be probably the best.
And highlight, you've got the sidebar, the right-hand sidebar.
Yes, I forgot to mention anything about the sidebar. In WordPress, you have this concept of widgets. These are little mini apps that let you post specialized things. And frequently, the widgets appear in the right-hand column. They can be in the left-hand column. They can be at the very bottom. I tend to prefer to put them in the right-hand column. And this quick links shows up on every page, for example. These are sort of a addendum to the main menu, really. There are some other things going on here. In the right-hand menu, you have, sorry, I'm outside my X.
you've got a pointer there.
I've got a pointer. Where is it? Top button. Oh, I see. I have some other things in the widget area. I have archives. It's very easy to set this up so your blog posts can be looked at later. I have what are called RSS feeds. Anybody not know what an RSS feed is? Don't be embarrassed if you don't. These are actually the blog entries of other websites. This could be ARRL.org. It could be QRZ. You import these stories. Typically, you just have the titles up here. You don't have the actual content. You click on this title, and it takes you to this other website. So that's really nice. I think I've got 4 or 5 of these feeds on my Eastern Mass page. So all kinds of stuff. I thought it would be cool if a radio club would highlight a particular club member every month, for example, and put that on the web page instead of in your newsletter, front and center. Other questions? Yeah.
Do you have any WordPress templates that you find are better than others that you might want to recommend?
I do. Repeat the question.
Do you have any templates that you found that work better than others that you might want to recommend to people?
WordPress has this concept of themes, and I, having a senior moment here, hit me after this talk. I'm not a comfortable public speaker, and it's gone. But yeah, Generate Press is one that I like a lot.
I got one, Phil.
Yeah.
Can you do any search engine optimization here too?
Can you do any search engine optimization?
Optimization.
Yes, that's kind of beyond the scope of my presentation, and frankly, it's not my area of expertise, but some people know a lot about it. That's just getting your site out there.
So that if they enter, say,
on Google,
a zip code and ham radio, that your site comes up first.
Yeah. Headquarters does an excellent job of that, by the way. Whenever I post something that shows up on the national page, invariably Google will turn up that search. Bruce? 10? Okay. Yes.
Thank you. So I do see that much of your content is club specific, but some does look reposted from other places. What typical sources do you use to find information?
What typical sources? Well, I tend to...
NPS information.
Oh, for this particular website, it's a combination of content that comes from the ARRL headquarters website. It's content that our NTS 2.0 working group has been developing over the past few years. In terms of the Eastern Mass and the New England Division pages, yes, I draw heavily upon clubs and heavily upon field organization and what's going on. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, Phil. Phil, something that I use when I'm doing a newsletter, and it would be the same thing for feeding up onto a website, is do you use Google Alerts? I'll give you a list of some of the Google Alerts that I have regularly coming into my email box. I have amateur radio, ham radio, Morse code, K1USN, SST. So anytime anything appears anywhere on any of those subject areas, I get a thing on it. That's why sometimes you see some kind of obscure things when I do my newsletter. It's like, where the heck did he get that? Well, it's because there was something in there that triggered that. And I mean, it sends, a lot of times it'll send you down these roads that's like, there's some really interesting stuff out there. We would not normally come in contact with that. And it's great to be able to share it. So those are what I use. I use the Google Alerts.
That's an excellent point, Pi. And I have just a simple elementary alert that's just Massachusetts and amateur radio, but I like your complex one better. Thank you. Sorry, I was getting kind of hoarse there. Any other comments, questions, best practices? I think...
Another one. Oh. This kind of has to do with newsletters again, Phil. Has to do with newsletters, but it also has to do with web page content. This, you know, you go on QRZ and you see they feature at least 2, 3, maybe 4 very well done, almost professionally done club newsletters, like the Tacoma Radio Club, for instance, that one called the Loggers Bark. I mean, I defy you to do anything as good as what they're doing. It's like fantastic. But how about all these clubs just start off here with like New England? Some clubs have better newsletters than others. Some, you know, how about if there was a storehouse to share all of that? And then everybody could feel free to pick anything that they wanted out of that and improve upon their own newsletter or website. But I mean, to be able to have
like
a storehouse.
News bureau?
Pardon?
Like a news bureau, but for radio
right,
club
exactly.
content?
But a storehouse, a gathering house. And again, it would be worth sharing some of the things that you or I come in contact with. And unless we tell someone directly, they're not going to hear it.
You're right. Another comment.
Yeah, I'll expand on that. I think that's a fantastic idea. And our newsletter, we don't have a newsletter right now, but our newsletter, when we were the Radio Amateur Society of Norwich, we used to have a technical column with a project, a simple project that you could build with readily attainable parts. And those projects are now all on our website. But if there are clubs that have a technical element to their newsletter, if there were a storehouse of those that we could grab from, that would be great, and we could contribute to it too.
That sounds like a huge but very worthwhile project to try to to do here in New England. How am I doing for time, Bruce? Have I used it up yet?
About 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, let's keep going a little bit more. This is a great discussion, by the way. You've given me some good ideas. I just wanted to show this slide here. These are the themes that John, was it you that Ken? Yeah, who brought up earlier. Just thousands and thousands of different themes and looks, and in fact, even within a theme, you can customize it 6 ways to Sunday. So it's extremely flexible. Yeah, Alan.
This isn't WordPress per se. I'll comment that our club transitioned in January 2020 from a privately run web mail server. The name will come to me in a second. To groups.io. We were lucky enough to glom on to a early adopters free account that gives us a fair amount of.
So you have the full package offered by groups.io?
If you pay the cheapest for pay package is even better than what we've got, but what we've got is far better than the current free groups.io thing. I'm not complaining about groups.io, but if we had to do it over again, I didn't make the decision, but we could probably get analogous good free stuff from having a Google Groups account as a mailing list. So submitted for your consideration.
Okay. And do you use WordPress currently for your website? No? Okay. There are other platforms that will allow for news feeds, but if you have a WordPress site, please consider using the RSS feed to show content from ARRL.org or QRZ or maybe even NEDIV, which is near and dear to my heart. Another hand?
Oh, I was just going to say, the WordPress site that I'm associated with has an RSS feed for its posts. So it exports an RSS feed.
Well, they all do by definition,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Very few people may use it, but it's there.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out.
Can I just hold this?
Hey, Nancy.
Is this correct? Am I?
You're live. You're on the air.
So I'm learning how to use this. So anyway, I just want to shout out when I became the Rhode Island section manager, having to put up a website in July, I would never, of 2023, I believe it was, I would never have been able to upskill so quickly, such as I did on WordPress without the incredible help of K9HI. So thank you very much for that. And pivoting back to your comment about the news feeds and the kind of collection, Phil is more than anyone else, more than happy to send him anything, and he will post it on there to the New England site, and it will instantly go out to an audience that's attentive. And, my own failure to keep up on doing that is due to other things, but certainly not to your ongoing commitment to be that news bureau. I was really impressed by that. And I also would just say in general, I think that what Sierra is doing and the ARRL various newsletters is incredible now. So I do think there's been, in the brief time that I've been the section manager since 23, I think it's really remarkable the way the communication has
Mike, you can take that compliment back to Sierra, I hope. All right. Well, are we done?
We're just about
done. Oh, one more.
Just one last question.
Sure.
One last question. How do you handle hams that find your website and want to become members? Payment or sign up? Is there any feature through your homepage that you steer people to?
I generally, in terms of having an account, you mean, on the website?
Or
when you say member?
Pay for membership, or if they want to submit their information?
Well, that would be ARRL headquarters. You're thinking, right?
No, just
because we don't charge money for any quote unquote membership for the websites.
No, not for websites, but if someone wants to join your club.
Oh, club. I'm sorry. Some people actually have turnkey commercial solutions for accepting PayPal and credit cards. I don't have any experience with that. Does anyone in the room? Yeah, check with Mark here. Check with the folks that have their hands up. That's beyond my
Yeah, we use PayPal.
We use PayPal. It's quick, it's easy, it's a nominal charge for each membership.
Okay, we're going to cut.
I'm throwing the hook, Phil.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Our next